guys could be in here. It's a beautiful day. We haven't seen the sun for a while until yesterday.
Yesterday.
You couldn't. Well, up until yesterday, it was rain, 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 rain. But you came out today. You made an appointment with yourself, first and foremost. And the appointment was for you to be here, for you to get your cup filled up. How many of you out there feel like your cup is filled up on a daily basis? Go ahead and raise your hand if you really feel your cup gets filled out. Okay. Most of us, we're being inundated with pressures. We're being inundated with negative news feeds. We're being inundated with rageful drivers. We're being inundated with negativity, and we're being bombarded. And our mind is being used against us to keep us distracted and in worry and in fear. So you showed up today because this was your appointment with you, between you and the Creator, the Great Spirit. And I'm so grateful and I'm humbled that I can just be one piece of the puzzle to help share some messages with you today. So before we begin, I would love for you to plant your feet on the ground. Open your palms. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale and release and relax. And inhale again. Inhaling fully, completely. Feel how it feels to be filled with air. And as you exhale, release and relax. Relax into this space. Relax into the now and let go of the worries, the stresses of the day and the week. Allow the flute to remove any blockages and any worries. Just let it go and let it flow. And as you breathe in the breath of life, feel it feed you. Be in gratitude that breath feeds your soul and your spirit and comes from Mother Earth and the Great Spirit. Allow it to course through you and to awaken your spirit. Feel what it feels like to accept and to open your heart space to the love that the Great Spirit has for you. Deeper and deeper into the space of now. Letting go of any hurt or pain, fear or worry, concern. Just allow it to flow away from you like a gentle river, carrying it downstream. Remember all that you have to be grateful for. A home, food, your health, family, all that brings you joy, and allow the gratitude to flow into your heart space and expand. As you accept this into your heart space, allow your mind and your heart to unite and to open to all of the messages from this day and today at this moment. Creator, Great Spirit, Giver of life and Giver of breath, we come to you today in a good way, with open hearts and open minds. We ask, Creator, Tinkashalo Wakatanka Mahio, hear us as we lift our voices and ask for guidance. Allow your messages to take root in your heart. We invoke the direction of the east where the sun rises and the great awakening begins, where the breath of life that feeds us comes. Where the eagle flies and brings with it clarity and gives the vision to us, gracious. Invoke the direction of the south, where the fire burns deep within us. For that fire to ignite into a roaring blaze, that others may light their light from ours. We ask for our brother and sister Wolf to bring to us how to live with intelligence in community, accepting each other and loving each other. We call upon the great direction of the west, where our ancestors go to lay their physical bodies down to rest. Where the bear comes to us with strength and courage, willingly lending that to us to stand strong. Where the waters flow, we ask for healing of all the waters, and the rivers, and the lakes, and the streams. The healing for our great oceans and our call upon the great direction of the great white north, where the white buffalo brings us wisdom. Where we remember our nurturing and loving and kind and strong Mother Earth. As we breathe, we can feel our roots grow out into the earth's soil. We can feel her heartbeat beat with ours. Let us remember to stand for her and to be her voice, to not take from her too much, but to sustainably live and to give back to the earth as the mother sustains us with food and air and water. We ask for all the two-leggeds, Great Spirit, Mahio, Kinkashalo Wakotonka. Hear our hearts. We beg you for healing. We ask that you open our consciousness to shift out of fear and control and greed and anger into love and peace and joy and compassion. We remember all of our relations, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlies, the multi-leggeds, the no-leggeds, the swimming nation, the water nation, the standing nation, and the great flying nation, and star nation. Pray all of this with open hearts, seeing a better world, a new world, where peace flows so freely and joy and happiness among all of our relations. So it shall be. Amen. Aho! Aho! Thank you, John. Before we go, now is the time where this space in which we are located right here and right now is ran strictly off of donations. If you are a first-time person here today, we ask that you do not reach in your pocket. We also ask that if you can give and your heart says to you, you must first ask here. And then, please, if you're in a space where you cannot, things are tight, we ask that as the basket passes, that you just put your intention of love and abundance. For you never have nothing to give, for love is the most powerful. So as we ask our band to come up, as the basket goes around, we're going to share a beautiful, beautiful if you will join me. One more time, bring your awareness and your attention to this basket and to all the people that gave love and abundance. That gave green energy and money. Creator, Great Spirit, Wakatanka, Tinkashima, hear us. We are so grateful. We're so thankful to be able to come together in community in a good way. We're so thankful that we have a place we can meet and be accepted. We can evolve and grow. We ask, Great Spirit, for blessings to rain down abundantly, prosperity upon each person in this room. To all of those who gave, we ask what they gave be multiplied thousands of times over and return to them in a good way. We are so grateful and thankful for their service here with us and for them being a part of our community. We each are connected. And so as we ask you to send this love and abundance and prosperity, that to those that may not have been able to give as much as they wished and desired, that you will bring to them all that they need and much, much more. For your word tells us you want to abundantly bless us, exceedingly more than we could ever imagine. And I stand before you as a steward, asking for these blessings to flow freely and completely to each person. We give thanks and gratitude as we ask in the name of all beings. So it shall be. Amen. Aho! As I was asking and opening and really listening for what was the message that needed to be heard today, I want you to open. I cried tears of great joy. I also cried tears of great sadness. And then at the end, I cried tears because I was shown what we can do together. Each one of us. So you're here for a power surge. A surge into a new way of being. Into a shift. A complete paradigm shift. So when we look and we talk about a power surge, how many of you have, in your life at some time, you had so much joy and so much happiness, and everything was going just right. It was so great you felt like you were walking on the clouds. You can remember how that felt. Well, today I'm going to help you remember how important you are, how amazing you are, and how powerful you are. You are a being of light so powerful that it's very difficult for you to imagine the strength and the power that you have. But let's look at some the verses in different books, the Bible, the Quran, the Bhagavad Gita. Let's look towards the spiritual books and see what they have to say. But I would be amiss before if I didn't tell you. I went and saw Selma. If you did not see it or have not had an opportunity to see it, I will share. It is Oscar-worthy. It is an amazing film. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I have a dream." How many of you have heard that? I have a dream. And his dream was where blacks and whites would walk hand in hand. Well, I have a dream. And my dream is that blacks and whites and yellows and reds, all cultures and all walks and all people, will remember that they are spiritual beings having a human experience. That they are powerful beyond their words, and that they do make a difference in this life, and you can change what is going on out there. And you have been led to believe you are less than, you do not have the power, you are a victim, and you, my friend, are not. So let's see what these powerful spiritual books have to say. In Luke, the kingdom of God is where? Within. But we're taught always to look where? Outward. Not inward. Outward. We're also taught to stay distracted, are we not? Did you know, tangent time, the average person spends 11 hours a day on some sort of electronic. 11 hours a day. 6.5 hours playing video games. 5.5 hours watching TV daily. Now I have to ask you, you're an amazing being. You have more power in you than you can ever imagine. The kingdom lies within you. If you're watching TV, is it reminding you the power that you have? Is it helping you shift your consciousness? Is it helping you become a better person? If you're playing video games, is it helping you become a better person? Is it helping you shift your consciousness out of fear and dogma and judgment and rage into peace and joy and compassion and love? When you're on your Facebook and your Twitter and there's lots of things out there I don't even know that. People say that Pinterest? Instagram? Yes, thank you. Are you using these as tools to enlighten yourself and to open your consciousness? Are you using it to stay distracted, to stay numb, to stay out of your head? The distraction is what keeps you playing small. When will you rise up and stand up and realize the power that you have in you and make a change in this world? When will you realize that your thoughts do become things? And if you're in worry and fear, you pull more of that to you. The law of attraction. We've all heard of it, right? The secret, the law of attraction. You attract to you what you vibrate. How many of you have met someone and you just love them? You just love them from the second you meet them. You're like, I don't know, I just love them. How many? That's happened. You just love them. You just are like, oh wow, Bruno, you're my new love. I'm like, I don't know, I just love this guy. I just adore him. He's just awesome. Kristen, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just love her. She's beautiful and wonderful. So amazing. Ian, you touch me in ways I cannot even begin to put words on. Andrew, you have my heart fully and completely. Cindy, you're always there, trying to nurture me, keep me eating, sleeping. So grateful. Aaliyah, your Facebook post to me, brighten my day. When you just say, hey, when is the next lodge? I just want to make sure I get off. When? You're amazing. Just your being. Your kindness and your gentleness. Barbara. Keeping my mind going and going and going and going. John blessing us every chance he gets with a little. And Michael, your heart, silver, is pure and clean and good. And you serve with no ego. Thank you. Walter, your energy is powerful. More than I think you even realize. Wanda, your smile brightens anybody. You are always the quiet in the storm. He walks in and it's just quiet and soft. I feel very secure. Rachel, you touch more people just with your being, my little watermelon. Rhonda, right now, I can't even tell you how much you've done for us. Roniel. I know.
I'll get my accent going. It'll work out. I'll get there. I'll do it too. We'll just change it.
I know. It's just that South. Amazing. Always giving. Always kind. Always wonderful. Susan, just beautiful. Blessing us all the time. Susie, awesome. Cecilia and Bob, I can only aspire to be doing what you're doing where you're at. Amazing. I think every time you come in, it brings me such joy. Mackenzie, your Facebook, every time I see your smile, and I see you're always complimenting everybody else around you. It's just beautiful. If you could see your eyes, see yourself through the eyes of the Great Spirit, do you think when the Great Spirit sees you and looks upon you, Dallas, when the Great Spirit looks at you and he sees your kindness and your giving, do you think he sees that you're weak? Do you think he sees you're fearful? Do you think he sees that you're less than him? Or do you think he sees your essence, your purity, your strength, your compassion, your joy, and everything that you have in you that is just waiting to be unlocked? It's just waiting. It is there, just waiting. So we look at John, and John says what? It says, even you shall do greater things than I. And this was Jesus speaking. Even you shall do greater things than I. Now, we can get into the philosophy of Jesus is God's Son, or Jesus is a prophet, or Jesus is this, or Jesus is that. But I think that all of the stories that we've read about Jesus, we've read the things that he's done, right? What are some of the things he did? Just name them.
Healed the blind.
Healed the blind.
Water to wine.
Turned water into wine.
Resurrected from the dead.
Resurrected Lazarus from the dead.
Walked on water.
Walked on water. Even you shall do greater things than I. Even you shall do greater things than I. Why are we playing small? We're playing small for the comfort of others. We're playing small because we've been taught since we were small and little what was impossible and what was possible. And I'm here today to tell you all things are possible. But you must first believe. I have a dream. And my dream is that you believe. And that you see yourself in a completely different light. In the real light, in the real illumination of your spirit and your strength. 2 Timothy. God gave us what? Power. Did not give us fear. Now, if you watch TV, you're probably in fear. If you listen to the radio, you're probably in fear. If you watch the newspaper or look at the newspaper, you're probably in fear. It's fear-based, right? Everything is fear, fear, fear. You got to get insurance, because if you don't have insurance, you might, somebody might rob you, or you might get sick, you might get in a car accident. Fear, 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 fear. Did not give you the spirit of fear, but gave you power. Gave you power. And yet we've been taught we have none. Through the media, through schools, through doctors, through every venue that we're walking on this sacred hoop called life. We get confronted with telling us what we can't do. I'm here to tell you what we can do. What's possible if you just believe. Philippians, I can do all things. Now, it depends on which Bible you're reading. Now, I have a Bible from 1611. I just acquired my family Bible from 1611.
Wow.
Beautiful. Amazing. It has all of my people, when we were born, when we passed. Because we didn't go to hospitals. That wasn't the way it worked. But what I noticed is that scriptures are changing, verses are changing in spiritual books. This says, I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. Other books say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But the key is I can do all things. We get lost in that. We get stuck on verbiage. Because what happens is we try to reinforce our comfort zone. How many of you know you have a comfort zone? How many of you know you have a comfort zone? We all have a comfort zone, right? And if anything makes you question your comfort zone, you're going to defend it to the death. So you're going to look for that one scripture, or that one verse, or that one phrase that reinforces what you believe in your comfort zone, right? And then we're going to ignore the other things that we don't want to see, right? That don't reinforce our comfort zone, because if our comfort zone isn't reinforced, then what happens? We have to change. Not everybody likes change. We kind of like things that they are. We're used to it. Even if you may not be happy with your life, you're used to what's going on in your life, so you kind of want to keep it that way. You're like, no, I just want to, I'm here to help you shift that, move through that into a new way of thinking. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've been called many, many names. A lot of them have not been very nice. But this was a scripture that really made me hold on. And that was when my dad was having me exercise. Yes, like
Delivery roll.
Yeah, like get everything out so that you can't tell the future and you don't know what's going to happen and all of that good stuff. I kept coming back to this, and I really want you to understand. Now to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. To one there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom. To another a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit. To another faith by the same Spirit. To another gifts of healing by that one Spirit. To another miraculous powers. To another prophecy. To another distinguishing between spirits. To another speaking in different kinds of tongues. And to another the interpretation of those tongues. All these are the work of one and the same Spirit, and He distributes to each one just as He determines. So you each have gifts. All of us have gifts. All of us. I really want to be able to walk on water. I'm working on being able to unlock that gift. I've been able to unlock some gifts, and other gifts I'm working on. And this is part of the sacred hoop of life, isn't it? We're evolving. We were created magnificent, and we're continuing to evolve. The Quran says, he who knows himself knows his Lord. Now, if you don't know what the Quran is, that's the holy book for the Muslims. That's the book they use. Okay? And since we are all inclusive, we need to look at all books. And not just one. Because we're all saying the same thing. How do I keep control? I divide. I instill fear and I divide you. You go to one Baptist church, they're arguing with another Baptist church. You go to one institution, they're arguing with another institution. You go to one here, they're arguing with another there. Somebody's saying, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm good, you're bad. I'm going to heaven, you're going to hell. I don't get it. It makes no sense to me that we're all seeking and searching the Great Spirit. We're all seeking and searching to serve and to be good. And yet, all of the books talk about thou shalt not judge. And it talks about a lot. Yet what do we do a lot? And the first person we judge is who? So I have a question for you. The kingdom of God is in you. So if you're judging you, what are you judging? Think about that for a minute. If the kingdom is within you, you have all this power, and you're judging yourself, what are you judging? You're judging the kingdom. Now, I don't know about any of you, but I'm not quite that egotistically driven to do that. I don't think I'm greater than the Great Spirit. I don't think I have more knowledge than the Great Spirit. I think that the Great Spirit created us, and that we're continuing to evolve and to open the gifts, to remembering who we are and why we are here. So if you know yourself, you know God. Bhagavad Gita, again, if you know yourself, you know God. Indeed, you alone, yourself, your own internal potency. Internal potency could be kingdom of God, right? Let's just transpose some words so that we can follow. O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all being, God of gods, Lord of the universe. He is in you, and you are in him and her. Let us make them in our image, male and female. The Bhagavad Gita goes on to say, this is true knowledge. To seek the self as the true end of wisdom always. To seek anything else is ignorance. How many of you know somebody and they can't really see something they're doing? Including ourselves sometimes. Right? And you can't really see but it's so easy for us to see in somebody else's window and be like, oh, this is what they're doing. And this is why we're here. So that when you look in my window and you say, oh, this is what she's doing, tell me. Maybe I'm not seeing it. Help me understand. Help me get to know myself. And help me to seek internally the self. The Bhagavad Gita goes on to say, my true being is unborn and changeless. I am the Lord who dwells in every creature. Through the power of my own Maya, I manifest myself in a finite form. Those who know me as their own divine self break through the belief that they are the body and are not reborn as separate creatures, such as one, Arjuna, is united with me. God is in everything, and we are in God. So we are connected to every creature, even the ones you may not really like great big huge spiders. I saw one from Afghanistan. Let me tell you, if that thing was under my bed, that thing was ginormous. I posted on Facebook. I thought, holy mother of God, if that thing came to see me, I would love it, and I don't kill anything, but I would run like a crazy woman. Even the creatures that we may not like, God is in everything. So we see the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita. We see the Quran, the Quran, the Quran. The Bible is all telling us that we're powerful. How many of you know, and you just know deep down in you, you're like, I am made for something so special. I'm made to make a difference. How many of you know? You know you're meant to do something amazing and wonderful. This is your time. It's our time. It's our time to remember and to awaken fully and completely. I love this. I love him. He hasn't said everything that I agree with, but he says a whole lot that I agree with. He says, when we read about creation in Genesis, we run the risk of imagining God was a magician, with a magic wand and able to do everything. But that is not so. God is not a divine being or a magician. but the Creator who brought everything to life. Evolution in nature is not inconsistent with the notion of creation, because evolution requires the creation of beings that evolve. So, the Poe. Now, I've really never had anybody back me on this, so I'm really happy about this. Most of the time I would say this and people would be like, wait a minute, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, we're created as amazing beings, but we're created to continue to evolve, to grow. It's amazing. So how are you evolving? Are you walking in a way that's opening your gifts? Are you believing in a way that reminds you how powerful you are? You're an amazing being. And you can change this world. We can change this world. Harvard's a study. I love it because it's actually the very first study that actually shows that after 8 weeks of meditation, they took a large group of people, they put them in an 8-week meditation course, and they did an MRI on their brains before they started and after. They actually found after 8 weeks of meditation that meditation actually literally rebuilt the gray matter in the brain. They've shown that meditation affects your DNA, activates your DNA, changes your DNA and your genetic composition. Meditation. And then I hear people say, it doesn't work for me. And I go, awesome, just keep walking the way you're walking. It doesn't work for me. I can't do that. I'm not doing that. I'm too busy. I got to watch my shows. I'm too busy. I can't do that. I'm like, if you're too busy, when are you going to wake up to not be too busy? Because if you want to make a change, how many of you really want to see the world differently? Raise your hand if you really want the world to be in a place of peace and kindness and joy and love. Then you saying you don't have the time is saying, I don't really want to change the world. Because that's where your power surge happens. You come here and you feel good when you leave, and that's awesome. And we really want you to feel that way, because when you go out and you're in happiness and joy and love and peace, you instigate that in other people, happiness, joy, peace, and love. But if you walk out and you've raised your spiritual consciousness and your awareness and you've unlocked your gifts, when you're around others, you start to unlock their gifts just from your being. Just from your being. You don't even really have to do anything. Just your energetic flow will help them. If you want to make a change in this world, you must first begin with you. Gandhi says, be the change in which you wish to see in the world, right? So, if you know you have all this power and you can change everything, I'm going to shift for a minute. And I'm going to show you something. I want you to keep this in mind as we go over the stats, because the stats are kind of gloomy and doomy. And they're not going to feel real good to you. All right? So you're going to keep this picture in your head. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. That's really good, isn't it? And I want you to keep this in your head, because when we go through the statistics, because I'm not here to teach you what to believe. All I'm here is to make you question everything. Everything. Why are things done? Why does it work that way? Why does it happen that way? Why do I believe that way? Do I know that that is the right way to believe? Am I asking? Am I praying? Am I meditating? Am I walking in kindness and joy and peace? So, you're bigger than a mosquito. I think we'll all agree with that. We're bigger than a mosquito. Okay, so let's look at some stats. All right. In 2012, 14.5% of households, that's 17.6 million households, were food insecure. Food. Your birthright to have food that Mother Earth grew for you is an insecurity in over 17 million households. The United States is the world's leader in incarcerations. 2.2 million people incarcerated, mostly of which are nonviolent offenders. And most of our jails are overridden with people because they were smoking marijuana. 2.2 million. And now we have the mandatory minimum sentencing. If you get caught for the very first time, you can spend 10 years in jail. Congratulations. Now, I don't know about you, but I will be honest. When I was in high school, I did. I just love it when I never touched it. But did you inhale? Yes. I did. Absolutely, I did. How many of you have children or grandchildren or a child that you care about? Raise your hand. How many of you want them to have the ability to be caught one time and spend 10 years in prison because they were smoking pot? Yet we've got how many people out here with 5 DUIs? They're not in jail. That's a very bleak statistic. 2.2. I have children that are teenagers. I'm like, oh my gosh, when I was a teenager, if the police caught us, they would, I'm taking you and I'm going to go tell your daddy. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's terrible. It's horrible. I'm in so much trouble. Now they take you to jail, lock you up, and it's not just for a night, it's like for long term. Because teenagers are trying to figure themselves out. They're trying to figure their way. They're at this place where they're trying to find who they are. How many of you are trying to find who you are when you're my age?
Older.
Oh, we're older. Okay? By one measure, U.S. income equality is the highest it's been since 1928. Horrible. The U.S. is more unequal than most of its developed world peers. The black and white income gap in the United States has continued to persist. The male and female income gap has continued to persist. Americans are relatively unconcerned about the wide income gap between rich and poor. Most people are unconcerned about the food insecurities that 17 million households have. Most people don't get concerned until it affects them or one of their loved ones. And that's when it's too late, ladies and gentlemen. Wealth inequality is even greater than income inequality. Stats are bleak, right? In Forbes, I loved when I saw this, in Forbes, Atlanta's an awesome place to live. You have culture, you have all this. You also have 21,000 tons of environmental waste. It is the most toxic city in the United States. And we live how close? You think that's not in your area? In Cherokee County alone, there's 167 cancer-causing agents in the water. So now your water is poisoned. Your air is poisoned. Your food is poisoned. Inequality is rampant. Rampant. And we're too busy because there's a line outside of AT&T for that new iPhone 6. The Pope says, we have created new idols. New idols. Before it was the golden calf. The worship of the ancient golden calf has returned in a new and ruthless guise, and the idolatry of money and the dictatorship of an impersonal economy lacking a truly human purpose. Yeah. Now, you're an amazing being. You're powerful beyond words and beyond comprehension. You can change this world. Why are we not? Why are we playing small to make our families okay? Well, if I believe this, my family's going to go nuts. If I believe I can do these things, my family's going to go crazy. My friends won't accept me. I'll lose my friends, so I can't do it. I can't do it because my mama told me I couldn't, my daddy told me I couldn't, my teachers told me I couldn't, the government tells me I can't, the media tells me I can't, the newspapers tell me I can't. You have the power in you. What happens when one man gets fed up and stands up? Others join that voice and change occurs. What happens when all of us in this room make a conscious decision that we are going to change the world for the better? And we stand up. Peaceful, logical, intellectual, analytical way. Unlocking our gifts and using our voice when we see inequality and we see harm, and we don't just walk past somebody and go, it's not my business. It's not my business you're hungry. It's not my business your kid is starving. It's not my business that your kid is sick and you can't get help. It's not my business. We have 4-year-olds now that are suffering from high blood pressure from the food that they are consuming. They think it's food. You have the power in you. Don't play small. Play big. Play larger than life. If I told you and you truly believed, and I want you to shift for a minute, close your eyes and breathe. And I want you to think if you had no fear, no restraints, you had all the resources you need, you unlocked all of your potential inside you, and breathe. What would you do, and how would this world be different? Power, love, kindness, all the resources you need, all the support you need. See what you would do and how this world would be different. And open your eyes. How many of you liked what you saw? You can do it. We can do it. And we can do this together. We can hold hands and we can walk each other home. We can remember who we are and we can continue to evolve and unlock the gifts. I found this and I had to because it says we're not born to judge each other and we're not born. We are born to know each other. We are born to love each other. We have not come here to kill each other, but to serve each other. You are an amazing, powerful being. It's told you in all the spiritual books. It's even shown to you. You have people now doing things even 50 years ago we thought was impossible. I've shown you videos of people catching things on fire with their own chi, with their own hands. If they can do it, so can you. If Oprah can do it, so can you. You are no different. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We think something is going to sweep in and save us. It already did. It already did. It gave us the ability to do it. That source put the power in you to be able to do that. We are the ones we've been waiting for. All we have to do is start making different choices and start being passionate about unlocking the parts in our mind and in our body that are currently inaccessible to us. You are powerful. You are very powerful, provided that you know you're powerful. If you know you're powerful, you're powerful. If you think you're not, guess what? You're right. I want to do a little demonstration to help you show you the power of the mind. Okay? It's a small demonstration. It's going to last just a couple of seconds, but it's going to require you to stand up and spread out. Everybody should be facing this way, so you should all be facing this way. Okay? All right, I'm going to show you. You're going to put your hands up like you're holding a gun, like this. Okay? You're standing with your feet planted firmly, and I want you to start turning around to your right. To your right, as far as you can go. As far as you can go, and see where you're pointing. Now look past that point. Look past the point that you're pointing at. Now come all the way back around. Drop your hands and close your eyes. In your mind's eye, I want you to see yourself standing there with your arms up. And I want you to visualize. See yourself turning around to the right and going to the place where you just were pointing. Now see yourself actually go past that point. Visualize going past that point and where you'll be pointing. And in your mind's eye, come back around to the front. And one more time do that. In your mind, see yourself, visualize yourself turning and going past the point of where you just were. And in your mind, bring yourself back around. Keep your eyes closed. Do not open. Now bring your arms up. And with your eyes closed, go all the way around as far as you can go, keeping your eyes closed, 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 and open when you get to the point. And come back forward and open your eyes. Who went past the point?
Way past.
That is the power of your mind. So if you can do that quickly, what else can you do? How else can you do it? They've done many studies with athletes where they put them in their training, like let's say they were running, or they were working out, or they were running their track, or they were playing football. And they put all these sensors on them and they monitored their heart rate, their blood pressure, their muscle twitching, and all that. Then they took and they had them sit and close their eyes and visualize them going through their training program. Their body responded exactly the same way. Their blood pressure went up, their heart rate went up, and their muscle twitches. The power of the mind does not know what you're putting into it versus what is reality. What are you sticking there? What are you allowing others to put there? When you're sitting down and you're watching the TV, what are you allowing to go here? When you're reading, what are you allowing to go here? When you're listening to the radio, what are you allowing to go into that space?
Bill Bailey and I are both basketball fans, and the emphasis in sports is frequently you either win or lose. And they have superstars. And the Atlanta Hawks have no superstars, but they play as a team, and the ego is not what guides them. It's fantastic. And we've got a team here that we unite, and the power, the talents that we all have, we can create something fantastic.
Where two or more are gathered. How many are in this room? About 55, somewhere around there. Maybe 50, 40. I don't know. I'm not good with numbers. Other people. If there are two or more that are gathered together, and it's amplified, what if there's 40? With the same intention, the same awareness, the same drive, the same, we will make a difference in this world. We will eradicate hunger. We will eradicate children that are dying and starving and on the street. It's just a simple decision. So I love this, and I think I'm going to continue reading it because I just love it. And this is before we do our ending meditation, I want you to just enjoy this for a minute. Admit it, you aren't like them.
We're all misfits.
You're not even close to being like them. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch that same mindless television show like they do, maybe even the same fast food sometimes. You try to fit in. The more you try, the more you feel like an outsider. Watching the normal people as they go about their automatic existences. For every time you say club class words like, "Have a nice day," "The weather is awful today, eh?" you yearn inside to say things like, "Tell me something that makes you cry. Tell me what you think deja vu is." Face it, you even want to talk to that girl in the elevator. But what if that person passing your cubicle at work just happens to be thinking the same thing? You know, you might learn something if you take a chance on a conversation. Everyone carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts. Do the unexpected. Find others. You are not alone, and we are not alone. How many of you have felt alone? You've walked in here, I've heard it from many of you. I never knew there were others that thought this way. I never knew. I thought I was crazy. I thought I was the only one. And now I've found a place where not only it's accepted, it's encouraged. Find the others. Let's not have mundane conversations anymore. How you doing? How's the weather? How's the wife and the kids? And you really aren't listening. How about you say, "Kristen, what are you doing that's changing the world today?" Leah, what choices are you making each day that makes a change? Now, you can't build the Eiffel Tower in one day. I want you to know this. Because some of you are sitting here and you're like, "How am I going to do this?" Because you're thinking, "I want to eradicate homelessness." We'll start out by feeding the homeless. Start out by serving in a soup kitchen. Start out by coming here and helping us feed the homeless. Start out by getting involved in your community and asking, how can we make this better? How can we grow it bigger? How can we reach more people? How can we do more? How can we have more outreach programs? To maybe not just be helping the homeless, feeding them, but maybe we can go a step further and we can help them find an apartment, and we can help them find a job, and help them find clothes, and help them to be able to survive. It starts out with the little choices. So don't try to go from here to the Eiffel Tower. Start out small, baby steps, and just ask yourself each day, what am I doing today that's making me a better person, that's increasing my consciousness, and that I can help in my city or my community or my neighborhood or in this community or at a homeless shelter. Or maybe I can go over and I can fly over when there's a natural disaster and I can serve there. These are the choices. They can be very small. They don't have to be giant. I want to thank you, because today you came to find out that you're one big bad you are powerful, you're strong, you're vibrant, you have everything you need. You have everything you need to awaken and to shift into a new consciousness. So if you'll close your eyes and open your palms. And I want you to breathe and allow the flute to allow these messages to integrate about how strong and powerful you are. Allow the flute to remind you of the amazing being
exists, and it's you.